Like all religions, Christianity has tried to explain our place in the universe.
In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless wasteland, and the darkness covered the abyss, while a mighty wind swept over the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw how good the light was. God then separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. Thus evening came, and morning followed the first day.
Some Christians, like those in the community of Riverdale, Los Angeles, cling to a literal interpretation of the Bible and ignore what science has to say.
There's no evidence from the Bible that God created anything else other than on this earth. There's no evidence whatsoever. In fact, the interesting thing is John 3:16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life." The word for love there really means infinite love. He had no other love to give. All his love was poured out on this planet.
See, I often have students say to me, "Sir, if there's so much evidence for God and creation and to support what the Bible's saying, the Bible makes sense of the world, why don't people believe it?" You know what the Bible says? They don't want to believe it. They are willingly ignorant. They choose to disbelieve. Because if you believe it, it means also you're a sinner and you're accountable to God. You need to kneel before him.
Well, other than angels, or if you like, the spirit world that the Bible talks about, as far as biological beings are concerned in this universe, we are alone. We are it. God made one man, Adam, the first man, Adam. He made the first woman, Eve. We are all descendants of Adam and Eve. Adam was given dominion over the earth for man's good and for God's glory.
Other Christians try to reconcile their religion with the new visions of the universe offered by science. Father Skian, a Jesuit priest and geologist.
If there are aliens from other planets that come to Earth, it seems to me very reasonable that they might have developed along a religious path that would represent their authenticity and the revelation that has been made by God to them. So I would think that we would welcome such alien humans if they should ever arrive, and if they do exist in that kind of a framework.
Faced with the vastness of space, some religions leap to embrace it. Robert Morningsky, a Hopi Indian, performs the dance of the universe.
On the reservation in the back country of all the primitive societies of this globe, the elders are sitting there wondering, when are you going to wake up? When are you going to realize that we are not alone? That is an arrogant statement. The divine beings, whether they be extraterrestrials or star beings, they have been here, and I marvel because in the civilized world, we are taught it is okay to believe in a divinity who lives in a paradise with pearly gates and golden paved streets, but you cannot believe in extraterrestrials. You can believe in heavenly chariots, but you can't believe in extraterrestrial or UFO ships. The arrogance is beyond me. This outfit, which represents the stars, this armband, which tells the story of the universe and three clouds. And from these three clouds, first man was born. This is hundreds and hundreds of years old. Don't you find it amazing that primitives openly talk about star beings, about people who live out there? We've known it for hundreds and thousands of years.
But even as they dance with the universe, some are better than others at keeping their feet on the ground. As comet Hale-Bopp sailed through the skies, an obscure cult in California decided this was the sign for them to meet their maker and his alien spaceship.
We don't believe that our Father's kingdom has much need for these flesh bodies, but it's possible that a spacecraft will come down and we'll walk on board that craft and they'll take these bodies from us.
39 cult members committed collective suicide in the belief their souls would be swept away by the alien craft riding the tail of the comet. They had paid the ultimate price for our fascination with extraterrestrial life. Ironically, the first convincing evidence of life out there was found down here. The Martian meteorite, a rock dislodged from the surface of Mars, landed in Antarctica. Inside, formations resembling life forms from a time when Mars had an atmosphere similar to Earth's.
President Clinton tonight promised to throw all the intellectual might and technological prowess of the American space program into the search for life on Mars.
NASA finding fossil life on meteorites from Mars was, President Clinton said today, a vindication of American space science.
I am determined that the American space program will put its full intellectual power and technological prowess behind the search for further evidence of life on Mars.
I think it was a very significant finding that yet is to be validated. I'm a scientist, I'll be rational about it. But I think it has lifted the spirits of the human species about the possibility of the ubiquity of life in the universe. This is a fundamental question that we have to answer.
Mars is now one of the main targets of our search for life in space. Scientists lead the hunt.
We're in Death Valley, one of the hottest, driest places in North America. And here, life is living on the edge. The edge is defined by the absence of liquid water. And that's a fundamental problem that life would also face on Mars. The question we want to address is, as Mars got drier and drier, what would have been the last possibility for life? What would have been the edge defined by the presence of liquid water? Here in Death Valley, in the very dry areas where there's no apparent life, photosynthetic algae are found underneath the surface of certain rocks. Underneath the rock, one can see this green layer, this green patch. That's the blue-green algae. They grow under the rock because the rock acts like a little trap for moisture, providing a moist environment compared to the outside conditions, which are quite dry here.
Every year, scientists discover life in environments previously thought too hostile to sustain it. Thousands of meters under the oceans, life has been flourishing around toxic sea vents in the absence of light, using sulfur instead of oxygen as a source of energy. Once again, life has broken all the rules of science.
Well, recently, I think a lot of work has gone into understanding the limits of life on Earth. And I think it's been an amazing revelation on where life can be found. Deep sea vents to harsh deserts to frozen wastes in the Antarctic and the polar regions. But the one common theme that all these environments have and still have is liquid water.
As we discover new examples of life on Earth, we've begun to realize just how possible it would have been for life to develop on Mars. The deep canyons of Mars, clear evidence that the red planet was once crisscrossed by rivers and seas.
We've got pretty good evidence today that the universe is alive, that the Earth is not the only world that matters. It's not all the world that matters. We now have evidence of numerous planets around other stars. We have evidence that the processes that lead to the development of life are general. We even have direct evidence for possible life that originated on Mars. And it's pretty clear that if we don't do the discovering, we're going to be the discovered.
An artist's impression of a mission to Mars. Its main purpose, to find evidence of life and answer the most basic question in our universe. Turning the human race into a truly interplanetary species.
The reason why humans need to move off this planet and start taking on other planets is in order to take upon ourselves the challenge of a new frontier, which is what we need in order to grow.
It was only 30 years ago that we first reached out into the cosmos. With the growing realization that we may not be alone, the space race marked the beginning of a new era for humanity. The alien could turn out to be us.
If we do today what we need to do, if we develop this civilization from an earthbound civilization to a spacefaring one, if we go forth and colonize Mars and put humanity on a track, okay, then 2,000 years from now, there will be people living on numerous planets or orbiting hundreds of stars in this region of the galaxy. And as more advanced as those people will be from us, they will have technologies and powers that will seem as magical to us as ours would to an inhabitant of Periclean Athens. They look back at this time, they will wonder at us.
But for man, no rest and no ending. He must go on, conquest beyond conquest. First this little planet and its winds and waves, and then all the laws of mind and matter that restrain him. Then the planets about him, and at last, out across immensity to the stars.
If humans are going to survive 1,000, 10,000, a million years, we've got to get off this planet and we've got to go out and explore.
And when he has conquered all the deeps of space and all the mysteries of time, still he will be beginning.
What human being on the face of the earth hasn't looked up at the heavens and tried to relate to their God? Isn't it wonderful that today we have the capacity to begin to understand those questions?
But we're such little creatures. Poor humanity is so fragile, so weak. Little animals.
If we are alone, then I think it puts an incredible burden on us to nurture and spread the phenomenon that we think of as life. If we're not alone, then I think we need to understand and develop a context of our life with other life.
And if we're no more than animals, we must snatch each little scrap of happiness and live and suffer and pass, mattering no more than all the other animals do or have done.
There is absolutely no reason to believe, not to believe, and every reason to believe that there is life everywhere throughout the universe, and that given enough time, life tends to develop into complexity and intelligence. So we're not alone.
It is this or that. All the universe or nothingness. Which shall it be, husband? Which shall it be?